Drew McIntyre has absolutely been thriving in his role as a heel right now, so much so that it might have even saved his WWE career. And the more I watch his story unfold, I can't help but think about that famous line from The Dark Knight where Harvey Dent tells Bruce Wayne,
"You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain."
In a way, Drew McIntyre's journey kind of mirrors a lot of what happened to Harvey Dent in the film. So today, let's look back at Drew's slow descent into the darkness, exploring the parallels between his character and the popular Batman villain. First things first, the most obvious similarity between both men was that they were once a symbol of hope for their people, Drew during WWE's pandemic era and Harvey Dent with Gotham City. While Batman resorted to fighting crime in the shadows, Dent kept the city safe by using his influence as district attorney to lock up corrupt officials and mobsters. He didn't need to hide his face, no, he fought Gotham City's corruption head-on, hence why he was called the White Knight. Similarly, when Drew won the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 36, he made it his mission to become a fighting champion, unlike the guy who held it before him. He understood the importance of becoming that shining beacon of light for the WWE Universe through the darkest of times, and in many ways, he was able to fulfill that mission, defending the title against any and all challengers while doing so with honor and dignity. However, things would change as the pandemic waned down. First, he lost the WWE Championship, and then he found himself getting lost in the shuffle, being casted aside in favor of guys like Bobby Lashley and Big E. Still, Drew soldiered on with a smile in his face, working his way back up the ranks until he earned the biggest title opportunity of his career, an undisputed Universal Championship match against Roman Reigns at 2022's Clash at the Castle. With the event taking place in his homeland of the UK, the pressure has never been greater for Drew as he was carrying the hopes of his family and fellow countrymen in his back. And just when it looked like he had it all won at some point, Solo Sikoa would come out of nowhere and cost him the match, shattering the dreams of everyone in the arena. What was supposed to be his crowning moment in front of thousands of cheering fans, a moment he got robbed of 2 years prior, ended in a heartbreaking loss. Little did we know that this would be the catalyst for Drew McIntyre's spiral down into madness. Meanwhile, for Harvey Dent, it was the death of his fiancée that led him down a darker path. But digging deeper, the reason for their fall from grace actually goes beyond the loss itself. Really, it's the thought of failing a loved one when they needed them the most, coupled with the unjust situation they were put into, that made them question their whole belief system. And as Drew's failures continued to mount up, his disdain for the company he once proudly represented also continued to grow, to the point that rumors of him leaving the WWE started circulating around. But amidst all of the rumors and speculations, McIntyre opted to stay and put on the good guy act in hopes that things will turn around for him eventually. It did not. And much like Harvey Dent, who finally broke after his face got disfigured in the movie, the moment that pushed Drew over the edge was Jey Uso's face turn. Real quick, we're trying to get to 1,000 subs by the end of March, so your subscription would really mean a lot. Thank you. Jey has been a loyal pawn of Roman for the better part of 3 years, but at some point, he realized that the tribal chief was only using him for his own gain, so he and Jimmy decided to split, resulting in the Bloodline Civil War. But after his own brother turned on him to rejoin the enemy, Jey wanted a fresh start, so he quit SmackDown and got traded to Monday nights. And from the very first time Drew crossed paths with Jey on Raw, it was clear that the Scottish Warrior still harbored some form of resentment towards the reformed Uso. This distrust would ultimately lead to Drew making a decision that would finally solidify his transformation to a villain. During a tag team title match between Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes versus the Judgment Day, McIntyre would come out and attack the Uso, allowing the Judgment Day to take advantage and retain their titles. In many ways, it was revenge for that time Jay's brother Solo cost him the most important match of his life. And after the match, he would shake hands with none other than Rhea Ripley, a symbolic gesture of his turn to the dark side. And no, it's not just because the Judgment Day like to wear dark clothing. It's as if this dark and malicious persona that he kept trying to repress inside of himself has finally been let loose for everyone to bear. And now we're seeing the real Scottish psychopath, one who will stop at nothing to achieve his goals of becoming the top guy in WWE again. With the gloves now off, he ran roughshod on the entire roster, destroying anyone who stood his path. It didn't matter if you're a good or a bad guy, if you didn't align with his goals, you get hit with a claymore to the face. face. And this newfound malevolence would reach new heights with the arrival of one CM Punk. It's no secret that Punk's shocking return at Survivor Series 2023 was met with mixed reactions from both fans and wrestlers themselves. And seeing this return as a threat to his world title aspirations, Drew would immediately put himself at the forefront of the CM Punk hate bandwagon.
You don't have any demons, you are a demon!
Honestly, some of his best heel work thus far has been when he was mocking Punk when he got injured.
Time to tear up those triceps.
And somehow, Drew managed to turn fan interest from seeing a Seth vs Punk match to a Drew vs Punk match with just one segment. But Drew didn't stop there. With the quote-unquote cancer of the WWE now out of the world title picture, the Scottish psychopath would go all in his quest to take the world heavyweight title from Seth frickin' Rollins. Seth has handed McIntyre 2 back-to-back losses for the title thus far, and his desperation to beat him has only fueled his rage even more. But will he be able to finish his story at WrestleMania? Only time will tell. What makes Drew McIntyre such a compelling character is that unlike other one-dimensional bad guys who just wanna watch the world burn, his motivations are more nuanced, rooted in betrayal, injustice, and desperation. A once righteous man driven into doing heinous things to those who he believed had wronged him. As Harvey Dent once said,
"You thought we could be decent men in an indecent time."
while Drew's actions clearly have malice in it, it's hard to hate a man when everything he says bears a lot of truth.
I can't understand why you're going to SmackDown to other lands to fight their battles when we need you here on Raw.
Oh, it's true. It's damn true.
In some twisted way, he might even be the voice of reason in the WWE. In other words, the duality of his persona makes Drew somewhat of a two-faced heel, I'd say. I love this promo between Seth and Drew because it perfectly encapsulates that.
You have done an amazing job with that title.
While Drew clearly sees Seth as an enemy, he also respects all that he did to make the new belt mean something. But now that the injuries have piled up and the Visionary is clearly running in fumes, he believes that it is time to take up the mantle and lead the Raw brand as its champion. I guess the one key difference between Harvey Dent and Drew McIntyre is that while the former's villainous turn resulted in him falling to his death, the latter rose from the ashes of irrelevance and is now on the verge of becoming the top champion once again. But what do you think of Drew McIntyre's heel character? Did any of my Harvey Dent comparisons make sense? Or was I just reaching here? Let me know in the comments below. Till the next video, have a nice day.